Series tied, a game apiece. NBA history says when a best-of-7 series is tied at 1-all, the Game 3 winner goes on to win 76% of the time. Stephen A., what do you expect from tonight's game?
Well, I expect Derrick Rose to show up. It's his first game pretty much in 3 years on his home turf during playoff time. Considering the level of greatness he's capable of putting on display, he's usually inspired by that home crowd. I expect a big game for him, particularly coming off a 6 for 20 shooting performance in Game 2. The Bulls have no shot at winning this series if Derrick Rose doesn't show up and play like a star. We understand he isn't what he used to be yet. We're obviously hopeful that he'll get back to what he was health-wise, because it's not about his game, it's about his health. But he needs to be aggressive, he needs to be in attack mode, and he needs to play far more efficiently than he did in Game 2. Being in the front of his home crowd, I can see the Bulls going up 2-1 tonight, handling their business in Game 3. I could see these teams, however, splitting Games 3 and 4. Not really certain who's going to win which game, but I think the series will come back to Cleveland for a Game 5 tie 2-2 at the end of this weekend.
And I say tonight, if LeBron James again wears his headband, the Cavaliers will win this game. Iman Shumpert is obviously a question mark, but J.R. Smith returns. And the other night in Game 2, LeBron James figured out how to attack Jimmy Butler. I think that will continue tonight. I think LeBron will own this game again tonight. And I say Cavaliers win Game 3 at Chicago.
All right, to the West, Clippers, Rockets. Obviously, that series is tied at a game apiece. But here's the big question. Will CP3 play? Is his hamstring good to go after missing Games 1 and 2? Status is still up in the air, Stephen A. So what do you expect from Game 3 tonight?
I expect the Clippers to feed off their home crowd, and I expect their effort to be similar to what it was against San Antonio in Game 1 of the first round, where the crowd was just ablaze. They were buzzing big time. I expect them to feed off the energy of their crowd. I expect Blake Griffin obviously continue to look like the star he's been looking like. I expect Chris Paul to play tonight as well. I think the Clippers win this game.
You know, this is a tough one for me, Stephen A., because I don't know if Chris Paul, if he does play, will he be 30% or 50% or 90% of CP3? I just don't know.
Well,
if he's not above 50% healthy, I might have to go with the visiting team in this game.
I'm picking the Clippers to win tonight's game, whether he plays or not.
Really? Okay. Well, then,
whether he plays tonight's game.
Well, then J.J. Redick's going to have to start making threes again, and Jamal Crawford's going to have to start making threes again, because when they go cold, the Clippers go south. So with if CP3's like 50% or tries to play 20 minutes, they could have a problem tonight.
I think you'll see Dwight Howard hacked a little bit more in tonight's game.
Uh-oh. Boy, that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, what about DeAndre Jordan? What are we expecting?
Well, DeAndre Jordan's going to miss free throws. He's going to make a few. He's going to have a few dunks. I think he's going to have a big game in terms of rebounding and his defensive prowess. DeAndre Jordan is big time. He's just awful from the free throw line. That's all.
Well, if James Harden gets to the free throw line 15 more times and makes all 15, that could decide the issue.
They shot 64 free throws. They're not going to get 64 free throws in Game 3.
Yeah.
And more importantly, Stephen A., since you are in L.A. and the game is legitimate, what are we expecting from the fans? Will they be talking to you first, or will they be going to just see the Clippers players?
Well, the fans always try to talk to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a given. I mean, ain't nothing going to change that way. And I talk to them because, you know, Stevie A, he doesn't just love the kids. He loves the people.
He loves the people? I was not aware of that.
I approve
news
this
to me.
Message, I guess.
Yeah.
We hope you guys have a wonderful we hope you have a wonderful weekend.
You learn something every day?
I don't have really any reaction to our owner commented on it yesterday, and it's only been 30 hours, so I haven't had much time to digest it fully, but when I do, I'll be sure to let you know how I feel about it.
When do you plan to address this publicly?
Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. There's still a process that's going forth right now, and you know, I'm involved in that process, so whenever it happens, and I'll certainly want to be very comfortable in how I feel about the statements that I make.
Is the Super Bowl tainted? Should there be an asterisk?
What do you guys think? Neither do I.
Has this, however, detracted from your joy of winning the Super Bowl?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
because we earned and achieved everything that we got this year as a team, and I'm very proud of that, and our fans should be too.
All right, so Tom Brady speaking out for the very first time since the Wells Report was released. Joining us now is our NFL analyst, former teammate of Tom Brady's, Damian Woody. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So, obviously, this is the first time we hear Tom speak about Deflategate. Did you like his response? I have two questions. Did you like what he had to say?
I don't think anyone liked what he had to say, but I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. And, for him, why put yourself in a precarious position? You're there to do an event that was already planned months ahead of time. Obviously, the news dropped. You don't want to say anything that could come back to haunt you, so he took the safe route. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady has, plenty of representatives that want to advise him how to comment on certain situations. I'm pretty sure that was in play last night.
So, moving forward, how would you like to see him respond?
Well, listen, I think everyone would like for him to be more forthcoming with the type of responses, the type of questions that are being asked about the investigation. I don't know necessarily if that's going to be the case, but I just, this whole investigation, everything that's happened, it's a tough pill to swallow. It really is. It's a tough pill to swallow. To think that, people are saying two rogue, equipment managers that went out there and just on their own decided to deflate balls. Come on, who's buying that? Who's buying that? What's the upside for the the equipment guys to go out there and do something like that? To me, it makes absolutely no sense for guys to just go out there and do something like that on their own. Do I think this crime or whatever you want to classify it as is severe? No. Listen, if the Patriots played the Colts 10 times, they would probably beat them 7 out of 8 times in that in that scenario because they were the better team. I think my feeling is disappointment. Why? Why do something like that when you're Tom Brady? Your legacy is already set in stone. Why did you feel like you would have to do something like that in order to gain a competitive advantage? Listen, we're all competitive. I was a former player. You're always looking to press the line, to press the envelope, to see what type of advantage that you can get over your opponents. And if you're the Patriots, you're the preeminent organization in North America, in my opinion. So I'm pretty sure they've been doing this a lot. It's hard to stay on top. It is, especially in the free agency era in the National Football League. You're going to have to press the envelope in a lot of different situations. But in this particular situation, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And right now it seems like everyone is hiding behind, issue statements.
So you're saying that if Tom Brady, or if and when he does respond, he won't be capable of defending himself because you think they pretty much have him in the Wells Report?
Well, listen, I think when you look at the Wells Report, I think there's wiggle room on both sides. There's nothing, it's a lot of, it's a lot of stuff that you can have wiggle room on. I hear a lot of people talking about there's nothing conclusive, there's no smoking gun. Well, there's a lot of cases in criminal or civil court that's circumstantial. And I think right now in the court of public opinion, he's taking a beating. We need something. I think people need some type of answer or some type of explanation or something. There's only so many statements that you can hide behind from your agent or whatever your representatives are. People need to hear from you.
Right. Stephen A. Damian Woody said people need to hear from Tom Brady, much like you said earlier in the show. Your take again?
Well, listen, Damian Woody is absolutely right, and it's similar to what I echoed at the beginning of the show. I'm incredibly disturbed at how dismissive Tom Brady is, how evasive he appears. You have been accused as being a cheater. Your own father had to come out and emphatically and vehemently come to your defense. I have no doubt his wonderful, beautiful, successful wife, Giselle, would do the same thing. But Tom Brady is sitting back, smiling and laughing like it's no big deal. And being, I think, relatively evasive. I remember when they asked him during that press conference weeks ago, Skip, that you and I both thought was a joke.
Yep.
They said, is Tom Brady a cheater? He said, I don't believe so. You don't believe so? What the hell is that? I don't understand it. I don't get it. It doesn't make much sense to me. And you brought up Jay Feely earlier in the show, Tom Brady's friend, and coming to Tom Brady's defense. Well, it just seems to me like everybody's doing a better job of defending Tom Brady than Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. This is not something a play or something that happened during the game or something that you need to be politically correct about. This is your personal integrity. They're calling you out. They're calling you a cheater. Shannon Sharp came on my radio show yesterday, Damian Woody, and said if Tom Brady were inducted into the Hall of Fame today, he would not show up and shake his hand. Because as far as he's concerned, he's a cheater. Now, if he goes and wins 3 Super Bowls after this, okay, maybe he'll think differently. But as of right now, Tom Brady's a cheater. He broke the rules intentionally. That's what they're saying about you. And you have nothing to say? You talk about, I've only had 30 hours? I would need 30 minutes.
Well,
I would need 3 minutes.
Hey, Stephen A., you brought up a great point because this whole thing has been in every news cycle. It doesn't matter what channel you turn on, it's been in every news cycle. If someone is bashing me and bashing my integrity, my character,
please.
You wouldn't think I would be on the first camera. If I knew I was innocent, I would be in front of something proclaiming my innocence.
Okay, so I told Stephen A. earlier in the show, I spoke or communicated with 3 people close to Brady last night. I know you're still well connected in New England. All 3 told me that Brady is telling them he is completely innocent and that those ball boys didn't do anything wrong. Well, if that's how you feel, unless you're being delusional, if that's the truth, you need to say that publicly quickly, because the impression is just growing and growing and growing. To Stephen A.'s point, you are tainted. You are a cheater. Shannon Sharp will not show up at your induction ceremony if you get elected to the Hall of Fame, says Shannon Sharp. So the time is now. You can't delay. And I agree. I know this man. I know Stephen A. I know you well enough. I know Jay Feely well enough. It's one of the people I spoke to last night. They're all, hey, yes, we would climb the highest mountain to proclaim our innocence publicly. That's what we all want to see and hear from Tom Brady, if he's capable of that. Again, he's not privately saying, yeah, they got me, I've got to say these things. But he's saying privately, I'm innocent. We need to hear it publicly.
And Skip, I just want to make this one quick point. I still have the utmost respect for Tom Brady because I've seen his work ethic. I've seen his competitiveness. I know what the guy's capable of. He's the ultimate champion. I just need him. I just need you to come forward. I need you to say something, because the longer you stay quiet, the worse it looks for you as a person.
Yeah.
All right. Damian Woody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Coming up next, folks, we're talking NBA playoffs. Which Derrick Rose will show up tonight? That is the discussion in just a few moments.